Hi, I'm Dorian, or Leviathan of my friends, and I'm an eldritch abomination lurking in the corners of your attic. For the last 5 years, I've been trying to find tools that will not only make my workflow easier, but also quicker, and they're also for free, and I'm gonna show you all of them. Most, if not all of these, will be things that you can use alongside different art programs. So my honorable mention is going to be a drawing program that is for free. Not one that I've necessarily used, but one that you can hopefully easily use. It's the favorite of literally all the children and younger artists that I see on YouTube, Ibis Paint. It has become incredibly popular since I've heard about it, which I think was about a decade ago or so. It has put a lot of effort into making it an actual drawing program that people can use. I will say it has a massive caveat though. The free version of the app has an insane amount of ads in my opinion, but if you can get through that, it's usable. I do also think that some brushes are locked or you can't make new brushes unless you watch a ton of ads or you have to pay. I don't know why. Until you're able to get a program like CSP or Procreate, I do highly advocate for its use simply because it is free and there are a lot of tutorials out there for it because a lot of children and beginner artists do use it. I cannot stress the importance of Google Drive. While it does have a cap of 15 gigabyte unless you pay for more space, that's still 15 gig that you can back up your art with. Mainly I use Google Drive to upload my finished art commissions or finished pieces in general, or even just merch pieces like prints and charms and stuff like that. It's the easiest way to send them across to my husband, who then can print everything. Just make sure you name your files instead of being like me and having them all be titled Untitled Project, and then you don't know which one is which. If you have an iPad, it should already be on there, or you can download the free app and then all you need is a Google account to be able to upload things. Just keep an eye on how much space you're using. Y'all know it's pretty hard to find those perfect brushes for any of the various drawing programs, and unfortunately they tend to be paid for, especially Photoshop and Procreate brushes. CSP, not so much, but while it's a good idea to save up for some of those brush packs, there are quite a few that you can get for free. For those of you who use CSP, there's the CSP asset library where you can find anything, literally anything. If you don't want to scroll through Pinterest for hours, the 3D models can be used as a resource as long as you can figure out how to use the posing UI. I've downloaded way too many brushes and found a lot of good ones, mostly lace and inanimate objects that I can use in my sketches or final pieces. For Procreate users, there is somewhat of a asset library for it. It is where I found my favorite brush pack, which imitates a lot of Paint Tool Sai brushes that I used to use back in the day, but it's a bit of a forum and you kind of have to scroll a bit for it. Mostly you're going to find a lot of Procreate brush packs that are free on Coffee and on Gumroad. All you have to do is search for a Procreate brush pack and then set your price down to 0 if you want it to be free, and you'll be able to find them. If anyone has questions about certain brush packs or what to find or what to use, let me know in the comments down below. I also use these brushes and they should all be for free. Obviously, most of us use Pinterest, and I've talked about using Pinterest for building up reference archives. Of course, with the idea in your head to not use AI-generated references, obviously, or actual artwork. Don't do that either. You can also use Pinterest to make inspiration boards for yourself, obviously, but in particular for like art style references or goals or that sort of a thing. In this video, I tell you how to do that. To build off of the whole reference thing, I talked about this in a different video, but to find free stock images, all you have to do is go to stock image websites or find them on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. There are quite a few people like Jukepub Stock, Facestock, etc., that make free for use stock images. They have been since the days of DeviantArt. That is a really good free resource for people, especially those that are just starting out or looking into Frankensteining poses. You can, of course, also, like I said earlier, find images on stock websites, but usually you only have like a week, I think, before you have to pay for references. And also they use a lot of AI, so you have to filter out a lot of really bad stuff. I would just tend to use the actual people that are making the images, and people like Adorka Stock usually have people with a lot of different body types rather than the weird Pinterest girlies you tend to find that are all very stick thin. This is going to be a sad one because I used it quite often until the pro account started. MagicPoser is a somewhat free resource that's easier to use than the 3D Poser and CSP. The only problem is that you have to pay for a lot of basic functions, which sucks. But if you have an understanding of anatomy and different body types, you could easily make any pose within this Dorito Man into anyone. The app also has light sources that you can make different colors, but you can't add another light source because that's also a pro thing. It's nice and user-friendly, but I don't want to have to pay for that. Come on, guys, get it together. Use the free version if you want, though. Like all other apps, really, and especially video editing apps, CapCut has a pro version, but it also has a free version. And up until June, yours truly was simply using CapCut for everything for video editing. So if you want to get into YouTube or video content, I highly suggest downloading CapCut on literally everything you can get your hands on. It even has a desktop app. You can extract audio from your own clips, you can apply animations and text, the world is your oyster. Right now, I use the free version of DaVinci Resolve alongside CapCut, simply because CapCut has a much better audio library, and I honestly need that, and I don't want to have to look at different places if it's just right there. Also, whenever I have audio issues and need to fill channels or mess around in it, I always know I'm doing it the right way when I do it in CapCut. Not sponsored, but hey, if you want to sponsor me, let me know, because I love your app. Portfolio hosting websites. Portfolios are so important, so important, especially if you're looking to charge for commissions or if you're looking to start in the industry. People need to be able to look at your artwork, and they don't always use Twitter, and it's also best to just have a portfolio in general to show off your art. Think of it like a parent's fridge where all of your best art goes up on it. You need one. I use Google Sites currently. It's very user-friendly, it's also free, and it's really nice. I have an illustration page, an about page, a character design page, and a concept art page. I used to use Card, which is also user-friendly, but it does use HTML. I think you might need to know some of it just to understand the way that it works, but both of these websites are pretty user-friendly when it comes to portfolios. I highly suggest them, and you need a portfolio. Recently, I've been getting into more traditional art and sketchbooks during my own downtime between commissions and other stuff. It's been really nice. However, I have a lot of confidence issues with my line work when it comes to traditional work. I have a very shaky hand, and I tend to sketch quite a bit. So my husband put me on the track of Draw a Box, which does help. It shows you a lot of really good exercises to build your confidence with line work, and it even goes so far as to help you build certain like animals, inanimate objects, all that kind of stuff. The lessons are very good. You should really look into it if you're looking to learn the fundamentals of art. I know everyone hates it, but life drawing is honestly a lifesaver, haha. And you don't have to pay horrible fees at a college to be able to take a life drawing class. You can literally do it on your own time for free. There are places like Line of Action that will give you like a class mode, and you can draw literally whatever you want, and you don't even have to do class mode. You can just focus on one image. This is literally the best resource to be able to draw human anatomy and do gesture drawing I really suggest taking a couple images, even if you're not using line of action, but different free to use reference photos, and breaking the body down into manageable shapes and then going from there to learn different parts of the body. It's very, very important to be able to do that. We've been doing this off and on in our little art club in our friend server. It's been really nice, and it's been a good refresher for fundamentals that I've been lacking recently. Okay, if I'm honest, I did include this option because I'm being petty. Or maybe not petty, I don't know. Somebody decided to be rude to me in one of my reels. So I basically said that you shouldn't be using AI art for reference in general, and AI generation is complete art theft. And they came in asking if they got a pass because they used ChatGPT to generate personality traits for their character. You just sound lazy and like you have a skill issue, so use Fantasy Name Generator. This is an advertisement for Fantasy Name Generator. Not really, they're not sponsoring me, obviously, but early internet name generators, genre generators, personality generators, etc., 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 are really good resources. I highly advocate for their use and not generated AI nonsense. Ah yes, beloved Tumblr. It is a wealth of resources if you know where to look. There are tons of reference blogs, internet archives where you can go back and look at brushes, clothing references. You can even build your own community there, and it's just really nice. I really advocate for this website, and it's really sad that a lot of people don't use it anymore. Just make sure that if you do sign up for it, you don't treat it like Twitter. Likes don't do anything except for archiving things, and reblogs spread stuff around. So if you do find a reference that you really, really like, make sure you reblog it so that other people can see it and maybe use it too. For those of you who have full or part-time jobs or just can't be asked, queuing functions are for you. Now, they are kind of hard to find. Instagram in particular does have a scheduling function. I think as long as you are a creator or a business account, it's just tucked all the way down at the bottom of the page under more posting options. But in general, it's a very useful tool and free. It's on Twitter, it's on Tumblr, Instagram, like I said before, even YouTube has its own scheduling function, but it's very important to have, especially if, like, say, you're a citizen of the UK, but you have a very large American audience. You can schedule those posts for later at night when maybe you're asleep, but not everybody else is, or vice versa even. My last endorsement will be Arts YouTube. Obviously, we have people who are jerks, like Ergo Josh and Colleen, or Colleen, however you say that. But there are quite a few artists here on YouTube that actually have generally good advice and are really, really entertaining. You can learn quite a bit, and you don't have to pay horrible, horrible fees to get that information. Mark Brunet, who offers a huge course on basically everything as an illustrator, also has free information on his YouTube. And recently I watched a video of his on perspective that really, really clicked with me. I don't know why, it was just the way that he explained it. And I had watched so many perspective videos before and tried to figure it out on my own, and nothing clicked until I watched his video. And Kelsey Rodriguez is another one through her videos that really helped me jumpstart my YouTube channel. She's a wealth of information, and I highly advise you watch her content. Obviously, there are a lot more artists on YouTube than just them, but, you know, pick and choose who you'd like to watch, and just be on the lookout for weirdos. Again, don't watch Kooleen's content. She's really strange, that one. I am so glad that I only learned about her now. Hopefully that helped all of y'all and made sense. If you have more questions or want to go into more depth about certain things, comment down below. If you like my content, hit that like button and subscribe, perhaps. If you super like my content, maybe consider becoming a patron or a channel member. Help me feed my 3 beautiful cats and my husband, whom I love very much. I also have a shop where you can get a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 merchandise, but in particular, lots of Asterion. He's very popular. I don't blame everyone. And remember, don't look in your attic. That's where I keep all of my secret digital art brushes that I am hoarding and gatekeeping from the rest of the internet. Thank you to Jacques, Herald of the Dark Roast, Meg, Exarch of the Golden Egg, High Artisan Anonymous B, Great Alpha Wolf Squilliam William, Nairuz, Seer of Rosy Mercy, Ghost, Infernal Collector of the Damned, Golden Paladin Court, Isabella, Redeemer of Bad Himbos, Keeper of the Lapin Warren, Robin, Most Royal of all the Rats, Ethereal Consort of House Vicarian, Fungal Sovereign Taz, Exalted Curator Wick, the Under-Elf of Delphinia, Paragon of Starlight, an impossible amount of rat babies, Divine Herald Jordan, Estrella, Sage of the Outer Realms, Wretched Sauce of House Worcestershire, Champion Pallypunk of the Immortal Valley, Taylor of Macabre Coney Livery, Eternal Apostle Austin, the Contingent of Fables, the Eminence of Light, Bunny, Exarch of the Ornate Tomb, Harley the Sanguinous, Grand Overlord Silas, Being of Exalted Sunlight, Delegate of Clan Latineurs, Eternal Consul Puja, High Magi Katie, the Herald of Wrens, Knight Susan of the Milkiest Order, Great Seer Clare, and Sir Matthew, Guardian of the Preserved Apiary.